Now we are going to have a session on entrepreneurship. So I would like to introduce two of the chief guests who are going to talk about entrepreneurship. Uh, Anubhav Garu brings with him almost a decade of experience with a successful track record in helping startups to scale through various innovative initiatives and acceleration programs. He is currently working with Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, CIE, at IIIT Hyderabad and heads the Deep Tech and MedTech incubator there. CIE is one India's largest and oldest academic incubator that is currently incubating and accelerating 100 plus startups through its three-way CEO innovation model that brings corporates, research, and startups together to co-build. Nirupa Vijay Kumar Garu leads programs at CIE IIIT Hyderabad. She has worked closely with startups from the past 5+ years and also runs workshops for other incubator centers and colleges on running incubators and understanding startup health. She enjoys the dynamic of the startups world and enjoy problem solving, innovating, strategizing, design thinking, and consulting with startups across all the stages. Her vision lately has been connected the dots between innovation, startups, and technology translation. I would like to take over from here. Please come on to the dais.
Good evening, everyone. As my introduction said that I work with incubators. How many of you have any idea what an incubator is? Anyone? Yeah. Baby production, good. So we produce babies in our incubator. Anyone else? Yeah. Something that helps you to grow. Anyone else? Let's make it more interactive. I don't want to make it a boring session, one-side lecture. So, anyone else? Security. Okay. So now let's combine all these three inputs that was given. One was producing babies. So our babies are startups. So this person was right. When a premature baby is born, it is kept in an incubator until and unless all its organs are self-sufficient to help the body. So what happens in a journey of a startup when an idea is there, the support system that is needed for that idea to flourish, and once it is stable and it becomes a stand-up, those are the established counterparts of startup, which is called corporates. Every corporate once in its journey has always been a idea, and then that is how it transforms, whether it was Cognizant, Infosys, depending on whatever your product. Initially, the struggle was more because the right set of mentorship, right set of hand-holding, and giving them the right set of path as a mentorship was not available at that much in a structured way. So what used to happen, these organizations took decades to reach where they have reached. The primary difference between a traditional business and a startup is, can anyone think about it and answer? What do you think is the primary difference between a startup and a traditional business? Startup is okay. There's no wrong or right here. I just want to understand the audience so that I'll tweak my discussion according to what whatever your understanding about startups and all is. So anyone else? What is the difference between a traditional business, maybe a general store, or a startup, or a shoe manufacturing company, or a startup? What is the difference? Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Capital is needed for traditional business. Anyone else? Which college are you people from? Any backbenchers, please? What is the difference between a startup? Before I come to you and with the mic, voluntarily participate or I'll come there. Quick, 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 quick. Anyone? Okay, tell me one thing. What is the difference? I'll make it more easier for you. What is the difference between a Ratnadeep and a big basket? Yeah, that murmuring you do with me. Huh? Huge investment. Which one needs huge investment? Big basket, okay? Let's take that pointer. Let's remember that pointer that it needs huge capital investment. We'll take that as an input. Anyone else? Anyone? What is the difference between a Ratnadeep and a big basket? Products, wide variety of products, okay. Capital intensive, good variety of product line. No one? I'm coming there with the mic now. Yeah. Whom should I put the mic to? I saw a lot of you answering here. What is the difference between, as per your understanding, what is the difference between Ratnadeep and a big basket? Now I can turn any side, left or right. Quickly, who is volunteering? Yeah, good.
Well, Ratnadeep is a retail store and Big Basket is an online store. Both are stores, but the way they are doing the same thing is different.
Okay. So, Big Basket is an online store. Ratnadeep is a brick and mortar store. Okay? The other point was good product line and mainly very capital intensive. Anything else? Any other input from anyone? Come on guys, let's make it more interesting. I'll show 5 slides and go it. You want that? Marketing. Which one is marketing in Big Basket? Big Basket uses marketing as its biggest tool. Okay? By TV ads, okay? Anyone else? Ease of access. Good point. Okay. Anyone? Yes. Consumers are limited. You have gone very close to that one answer. The basic difference between Ratnadeep and Big Basket. Why are the consumers limited?
Yeah. The location. It is being online that it can be accessible to the a lot number of people, and whereas the Ratnadeep one it is located in a particular location which is being used only by the vicinity.
Now that's the perfect, very right answer. Now let's structure this in the differentiating way. Capital intensive, right? It's capital intensive. Which one is capital intensive? Big Basket. But if you see if we put 1 crore in a Big Basket platform and 1 crore in a Ratnadeep brick and mortar store, how many more stores can we open? Say for instance there is one Ratnadeep. I gave them 1 crore. How many stores do you think they can open after that with that 1 crore? Maybe 1 or 2. Okay. Different places, different price points. Somewhere it might be 5. How many cities can Big Basket cover with that 1 crore? Most of them, right? Most of them. So what is the primary difference now? The ability to scale fast. That is the primary difference between a startup and a traditional business. A traditional business has its long timeline, how it grows, how it it takes time, and that is why the whole problem of scaling happens. Like Reliance took lot of years, but how many years did Jio took over everything? Not more than 1 or 2 years. So that is the primary and basic difference, and all comes down to what Madam was saying. The idea is either innovative. Now what most of these startups, the solutions that we use are solutions that makes us lazy. We don't want to go out and shop. Flipkart is there. We don't want to go out and book a taxi and all. We can book it from home. We don't have to go out for buying our vegetables. Big Basket is there. Everything that you see is making it more and more easier for us, and that's what it is called. Any problem that you solve which caters to the masses is what makes a startup more and more scalable. Now you got the idea what startup is. So when you start a company, you need all basic support around it. What kind of company should we open, and what kind of what should be my hiring policy? Where should I set up my office? And things like how do I allot my shares when I'm raising funds? What kind of documentation I should be worrying about? So what incubators and accelerator do, incubators do, they take care of all these things. The basic premise of an incubator is to provide you support with infrastructures, provide you support with the networks and the community, and to bring in managerial services like CS, chartered accountants, lawyers, and others who are integral part of running a company with and following the compliances and others. So that's what incubators basically do. So for us, when a startup is born, as somebody was saying, it takes care of the baby. That's the startup is the baby, and we take care of it through until unless it has grown to a level where it can go ahead on its own. Now, coming to the other part, which is called accelerator. What are accelerators? Accelerators are cohort-based, that is cohort means batch-based program with funding, where the accelerators put in money at different accelerators have different model. Some put it at the idea stage, some put it at the MVP. MVP means minimum viable product. So which if you are building something, the basic structure of it is ready, but to make it more effective and comprehensive and better, you need more funding for that, and that's where the accelerators come into picture. So what accelerator do? They are basically 3 to 6 months program with structured program timelines and program content. And with every milestone that you achieve, you receive funding. So if it's a 40 lakh accelerator or a 50 lakh accelerator, they won't, the moment you join the batch, you won't get that whole 50 lakh at once. They will release 10 lakh and they will ask you to finish your website, acquire 2-3 customers, or go and test your product, get us the feedback, let us see how you are, and once all those tasks are completed, you achieve the milestone, the next 10 lakh or 20 lakh, whatever it is. So it's a milestone-based program with funding, which gives 360 degree support to a startup. Now, CIIIT Hyderabad is both. It's an incubator also, and it's an accelerator also. Our focus is on deep technology startups, startups that are working in the areas of AI and subdomains of AI, and that is where our accelerators focus is. If we see that you are working in the deep technology space, where IIIT Hyderabad has its research interest also, and that's when we call for applications. People apply based on the the researches and technologies that IIIT is working on, and then we shortlist them, select them, invest in them and start working with the research. So our idea is to, because IIIT Hyderabad is a research technology institution, the whole focus is to work around deep technology research and back those research by translating them into a product and eventually a startup. So the research translation, how it happens is basically there might be a research by a professor in any of these technologies. What we do, we have our own product lab where we help with the with EIR program. You all can be one of the EIRs. You just come up with an idea and you pick up the technology here. You'll get some stipend. And then just to take care of your basic needs, and then you will work with IIIT's product lab to build that product. Once that product is ready, you become the co-founder of the product, and you can bring someone else as your co-founder. IIIT has its stake in the company because the technology translation and everything has been built up here. And that's how we create startups with young minds like you or somebody who has been in the industry for long. So how we work in we try to bring the corporate side of it and the academic side of it, the research academic side of it, and the startup angle. That's what our three-way co-innovation model is, where a corporate comes up with a problem statement saying that you, say for instance, if it's let's take an example. Say for instance, if it's a mall, it's a big, the forum group comes to us and say that, we are having problem with the right set of parking alignments in our malls. And every time when there is lot of rush, there is lot of traffic that blocks the whole parking lot of the mall. Now, do we have some computer vision solution which where we install right set of cameras to understand at what should be the relay of traffic, how much time each car is taking, analyze that and see if there is a better route, if there is a better way of parking the cars. If they are parked like this, it is delaying the process. At this level details, we have worked around with Boeing, we have worked around with big airports where we have been asked to analyze why there is a slight 1 or 2 minutes delay also into the flights. And that's how the corporate gives you the problem statement, gives you into the incubator. Now we'll see if there is an underlying research or something has been done in that area by the academic institution, that is IIIT Hyderabad. If there is something like that, either we build it in-house, that solution by translating that research, or we scout for startups who are working in that domain and they have some solution around it which they can tweak to meet. That's the three-way co-creation model. Research translation, we have one that works closely with Star Sports on the badminton analytics, which was the research of IIIT Hyderabad's dean and current dean, that is Professor C.V. Jawahar from the CVIT lab. So it was his research, we translated it, and we saw that lot of data is there related to cricket, but very less data is there related to other sports in India. So that time Premier Badminton League was going on, and Star Sports needed such solution which can, track the players and see the heat maps, where they are stepping, at what angle they are hitting those shots, at, what is translating into points for them, where they are lacking. So those kind of analysis will help the young players to understand, how they can train themselves well by watching their own videos and getting the analytics out of it. The other one was Subtle, which came, again, is a research translation of IIIT's NLP lab, where you give it a 20,000 page or a 5,000 page or a 10,000 page PDF. Now, that technology will derive insights from it as if you have mugged up the whole document. So say for instance, if it's a legal deed of like, what do we say, if it's a legal deed of 5,000 pages going on, the legal suit is going for 10, 20 years. Now you suddenly want to know in the property dispute, in the legal document, who owned the property in 1965. Now, if you do this with current technology or technology that was available a couple of years back, what we used to do Control F, we used to search with the keywords. Now you can just ask a question to this technology, who owned the property in 1965. It will take you to the page where that judgment was given. It will give you a answer that XYZ person owned in 1965, which was purchased by XYZ in 1964 and eventually sold to. Now, what is happening? You are getting answers for the in a Ziffy. Now, where these technologies will help is large banking documents when they have to go through KYC documents, or if you are somebody who loves machine, there are so many things that there are how to run that machine, and all these booklets are there. You get stuck at somewhere. Say you even if you're reading PDF through, you're coding something and you want to know. Now you go through that each page or each line of code to understand. Whereas if that PDF is uploaded on this technology, you can just ask questions and immediately you'll get answers. So those kind of solutions, so in that case, SBI came to us with a problem that we are having problem with lot of these government orders and we are unable to keep track of it. And it's tough for us to run every time through each page and see what was the judgment and what was the government order. And that's when we started taking that technology and eventually building a startup with an EIR. EIR means entrepreneur in residence, with an EIR who eventually became the co-founder of that startup with the professor. And so that's how the co-creation model works. Accelerators, we have deep tech accelerator, med tech accelerator. One we are running with we are running a media tech accelerator, and then we have a Facebook's XR program accelerator, where students and startups that are working in the domain of gaming and entertainment in the AR VR solution. Facebook will fund that program. And Facebook will basically try to, invest in these ideas and take it. So that in that model we have healthcare program, we have acceleration program with IHub, where IHub is funding us to find the right set of solution in the again in the deep tech domain. So this is what we do. It's been Triple IT started it in its incubator back in 2007. So early 2007, and somewhere around that the whole idea was conceptualized, and in 2008 we formally registered, and that's when it's been 14 years that we have been supporting startups. More than 600 plus startups we have supported so far. We have invested in more than 50 companies, and all in the deep tech domain. So yeah, that's a quick and a long or whatever intro of about incubator, accelerators, and how we work. And if you or if you have any idea, if you want to work, if you want to try your hand in entrepreneurship and see how it, how to go ahead with this journey, you are more than welcome to come and explore us. We do idea validation boot camps, 2-day boot camps. I mean, that's something very interesting for students that students can look into. And I mean, we can do a specific cohort only for your college. We can do that also. So those are where 2 days you'll get mentors and all. You can come up with random ideas and see if that works or will work or not. So it's a certificate. You get a certificate from Triple IT that you are part of the boot camp and all. So yeah, that's it. Any questions anyone has? Anyone? Call Nirupa. Yeah. Yeah. See, so there is one which they are not exactly one that bunch of startups that we have supported and has gone ahead to make a news. Have you heard about? How many of you have watched Shark Tank here? Shark Tank India. Have you heard about this startup called Sunfox? So it has built a ECG machine of this sort, and they were the that was the startup that got funding from all the sharks of Shark Tank India. So that was one. Revos was one. Revos again is funded by us, and eventually went on to raise multiple rounds, and then again went to Shark Tank India to raise from there. So that is one. I mean, these have made, lot of news, and they have built interesting technologies. As I said, Match Day is something where Pullela Gopichand, the national badminton coach, became the co-founder. That was one of the achievements that we see, when the national badminton coach himself is coming and joining a startup that is created by your organization. So that's few I would say that are pretty interesting to me. But having said that, I love each and every startup of mine which is in the incubator. They are doing some amazing stuff, and it's not easy. Entrepreneurship is not easy, so it takes a lot to run a company, and and then going through a turmoil of COVID where everything was so bad. So it takes a lot. It's not an easy journey, but it's worth it.
Subsidies, are these companies who register in startups eligible for government subsidies?
Yeah, they do get government grants, and as per the national startup policy also, the processing and all these things when they are tendering to a startup is like SBI couldn't do if it was beyond. I can't reveal the number. If it was beyond that number, SBI couldn't have done it by giving a direct order. It would have to go into tendering. But since the policy is there that up till here you can involve a startup, and you don't need to call for a tender. So that itself shows that there is a lot of push from the government happening, where they want to work with the startup and have a fast track process of giving them POCs rather than involving big companies. Like the government's Harita project, a lot of drone startups of IIITs are being used to spread the seed balls around for the afforestation that is going on right now. So they do work with the government is very keen in working with startups. Yes. Anyone else? Huh. Huh. Yeah. So the when somebody is coming with the research translation part that we are talking, we do help them with the tech talent here, and we do help them with the right set of strategy mentors. We do help them with the right set of engineers who are building it, interns building it for them. The IIIT's lab helps. So it's a because we have our stake also in the business, right? So we are very much involved. Our enablement is very deep in that case. Nirupa? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.